Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I'm going to be drawing in this sketchbook. This is a Leuchtturm1917 sketchbook. This is their 150 GSM. I received this for free. Back in 2021, when they were discontinuing all of their 180 GSM paper sketchbooks, I purchased a few and the order got lost, and so they threw this in there as an apology for it taking so long. So I had originally started using this book for demos, and then I just declared my Stillman Burn Epsilon as a demo book. So I had a bunch of like partially used sketchbooks. And so for April, I really wanted to sort of get out of my own head and try something I'd never tried before. And I don't know, there's so many things here that I really wanted to just experiment and use a medium I hardly ever use on a sketchbook that this is the first time, I've tried going through one of these with the 150 GSM paper with a subject matter I have no experience in whatsoever. So what I decided to do, I know, because it's a lot of new for me. It's a new paper, it's trying to use something I hardly ever use, and it's a medium I never use. So there's a book called Contemporary Contemporary Landscapes in Mixed Media by Soraya French. And I am going through this book, and I am just taking inspiration from every single illustration. I am not good at landscapes. I'm going to throw up pictures in her book. It's not something I'm familiar with. It's not something that I gravitate towards when I create. Landscapes are something I gravitate towards when I go to buy art and look at art. I love looking at landscapes. I think they're relaxing and they're peaceful and they're just engaging. Like it's a whole, you're just getting the snapshot into this world, this universe, and I just love looking at them. So I really want to try and create some things I love looking at and buying, but I'm not good at it. So I am borrowing this book and I am trying to get out of my own head, because what happens with things I'm not comfortable with or familiar with is I get in my head about it and I start over analyzing everything, and I expect things to be perfection coming right out of the gate. And because I have so much experience drawing animals and I have so many years of experience doing different subject matters, and I don't have any experience with landscapes. So how I've chose to do this is to do them very quickly. So I'm essentially doing, I wouldn't say thumbnail sketches, but I'm doing like 10-minute quick doodles of landscapes. Okay, this is what I've done so far. I'm doing 2 a day in between the portraits I'm trying to finish up. Okay. See, that's for inspiration from the front cover. It's very, very similar because I have no idea what I'm doing. So this is how I'm trying to learn how to do it. I'm just going as fast as I can to make sure I don't overthink it. I don't overanalyze it. I don't slow down to the point where I get overwhelmed or hesitant and then can't do it and don't want to do it, because it's not going to, these aren't going to turn out the way I want. So I'm just doing really quick studies. And then from there, I will slowly start to expound. And the next time I go to do a landscape sketchbook, which I think might be July for World Watercolor Month, I'll spend a little bit more time every sketchbook I go to create with landscapes till I finally get comfortable and develop my style and figure out where I want to go. But right now, I just really don't want to weigh myself down and overthink it. So I am using the Caran d'Ache Neocolor 2s, and these are the water-soluble ones, but I am just using them straight up like wax pastels. I am not adding any water to them, which is never how I've used these. Every time I've used these, since I purchased them 8 years ago, I've only ever added water, so I'm kind of rediscovering this medium too, and using them essentially like a crayon. The other thing I have in here, these are the Pentel Vistage watercolor sticks. These are also a waxy pastel. I purchased these. I have the smallest set of Neocolor 2s, and some of them are broken. And then these Pentel watercolor sticks. I have the antique set, so I'll throw up what some of the other colors look like. And yeah, they are not as smooth, as light fast, as vibrant, obviously, because of the antique set. They're good complements to each other though, because these are so bright and these are so muted. So there definitely was the right purchase. They're just not, they're just not as high end as these, like at all. So, but I got these on Etsy. I wanted to try them. I overbought one year, and so I own them. So I need to use the things. So I'm just gonna shove these all to the side. And I'm not even worried about it. I store everything in jam jelly jars. Okay, so we are going to find something to create together. Yes, okay. I know their Neocolor ones were created in like the early 1950s, and then they came out with the Neocolor 2s in the early 1970s. So these have been around a while. So I am just going to grab a reference, and I'll put the reference photo in the corner if you want to reference with me, if you want to try and do this with me. I have no idea where to start. I have no idea how to do this. And so I know with landscapes, I understand the concepts of foreground, middle ground, background. I understand these things. I don't know what to put in them. I don't know what grabs my attention. Do I do just like mountain ranges? Do I add some houses? Do I do floral motifs? Do I do beach scenes? Like, I have no idea where to go with any of this. So because I'm such a blank slate, I am borrowing all the references from this book. I'm just throwing my interpretation up and getting out of my own head and trying to make these come alive and seem fairly interesting. But again, I'm being as slapdash and fast as possible, because if I start taking my time, I'm going to overthink this and go, okay, I don't like it. I don't want to do this. This is not my comfort zone. And the whole point of this is to get out of my comfort zone and develop new skill sets. So I want new skill sets. I want to get better at all kinds of different things. I want to try all kinds of different things. I want to use, and I hold down things too hard. I want to use my mediums in all the ways, so they're always fresh and exciting and interesting to me. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm just trying to keep it spicy and interesting, and I have no idea, like, do I like trees like this? Does this interest me on any level? It's interesting doing square blocks in this one. They're also different, and I decided to do this abstract book. There's tons of different landscape books out there. I mean, check your local library, see what their purchasing policy is. If you are on a low-buy art supply, you know, check eBay, check Goodreads, check around. Read reviews, check Amazon, see what people are talking about. Bookfinder has ways of getting these books fairly inexpensive. Again, I'm just trying to get down whatever they have going here. I don't know that I'm doing this correctly or incorrectly. I just have no way of knowing. So it's messy and it's wild. And this is me learning a new skill set. This is me trying a thing. This is me out of my comfort zone. I'm still doing portraits. I have about I would say 8 or 9 days left of portraits to fill the pages. I'm nowhere near done filling that sketchbook, that Midori MD notebook paper. I'm excited. And I'm thinking about going over each one with ink and adding, what's that, this color? And adding some robot things. I know it'll be March of Robots in April, but I'm overlapping these. And since these are so quick, these are just really quick studies of someone else's studies, because I'm not sure if I want to go realistic with the style or if I want to try something that's more abstract or expressionism. Like I don't know where to start. So this is the book I found online, that library book, is the first book that really grabbed my attention, and they were so bright and vibrant, and I thought, oh my God, I want to create bright, vibrant things, and I don't know how to do that. So we are doing it together as much as possible. And again, I can only work with the shades and tints that I have. I don't have all the things, so these aren't going to color match perfectly, but it's okay. We're just accepting the things we can accept here. And maybe it'll come together. Maybe it'll be cohesive when it comes together, and maybe it won't be. I don't know. I definitely like the unabashed, like unapologetic throwing color on there. They're just all so bright. And I like it. I dig it. I think it's such a cool style. Where is... Many of these are broken. Again, I press really hard. I'm trying to do this in a way where you don't see a whole lot of the white page. That's not something I want to highlight and show. So it has me pressing harder. Again, I'm not adding any of the water because that's how I typically use these. Fun story. I purchased these Neocolor 2s in 2017, and then the Pentel Vistage watercolor sticks I purchased in 2021 with, gosh, hundreds of other things, too many. And when I first purchased the Neocolor 2s, I used them like 3 or 4 times with the water, and I was like, oh, okay, I get a feel for it, I understand. And then I stuck them on my art supply shelf in my cabinet, and then didn't use them for over a year. And I kept looking at them going, God, those were expensive when I bought those. They were on sale, but they were expensive. They weren't cheap. And I felt kind of bad about it, that they were just sitting there unused. And so I eventually just went to my youngest daughter and I was like, hey, did you want these? I don't use them, and they weren't like the most budget thing in the world. And I explained that they were like a light, fast, high-end crayon, and she's like, sure. She didn't really use crayons. So she used them a couple times and then stuck them on her art shelf and then didn't use them for years. And then finally one day I was in her room and we were chatting. She was watercoloring, or she really likes pen and ink too, and watercolor. Those are 2 favorite mediums. I was like, you don't use those either, do you? And she's like, no, I don't really like crayons. I was like, I'll take them back. I'll just always use them with the water and try and use them as watercolors. But the thing of it is, I have so many products that I use as watercolors. I have watercolors in pans, watercolors in tubes. I have watercolor pencils. I have these, the Neocolor 2s. You can always add water to water soluble felt tip pens, and then those are like simulated watercolors. So I have a lot of products that act as watercolors. What I don't have are a lot of like oil pastel-y things, and that's what these are to me. These are very oil pastel-ish. So I'm trying to use them as oil pastels. Okay, and that's my interpretation of that piece. A little bit. I don't know. I'm missing some of the oranges and the reds, I think. I don't know. This is my interpretation. I don't know if I like landscapes like this. I don't know if this is my thing, but you can see I get into my head about it, and maybe that's not the most helpful thing. So let's try another one. Okay, let's try this one. This one seems very more strategic. But I just don't know what I like to do. So I gotta start somewhere, and I have zero idea. I can look on Pinterest for references of things, you know, landscape references, photographs of people's farms. I just don't know if farms are my interest, or if it's mountainsides, or if it's like hilly landscapes, or like village scape type things, or maybe it's more ocean. I don't know. I haven't done any oceans yet. I know there's some ocean scenes in this book, but I haven't gotten there. I'm doing like a page at a time while I read it. And this author has other books, but the library doesn't carry the other books, so that's kind of a bummer. And these are all done in mediums I'm not using, so that's why I'm simulating things that aren't really not the most successful. But again, I don't know where to start, so I am just diving in headfirst. Trying not to overthink it, trying not to, you know, make myself unhappy about it or overanalyze it in a way that I no longer enjoy the process. Because it's creating, it's trying things, it's, you know, I don't even know how to explain it anymore. I'm just branching out and hoping things work. Please work. And if it doesn't work, what would work for me? You know, get to a certain point and I need to figure out what's going to work. And I love the use of color. I love how bright these are. You know? And this may not be your thing at all. You may not like neo colors. You may not like oil pastels. You may not like landscapes. You may not like anything of what I'm doing or talking about here. This may be totally irrelevant to you, but it could be. And it could be in the way that you try something new. If there is an art style, an art medium, something you're interested in, gosh, I don't even know how to do these. A subject matter you've always been interested in and you've never tried. This is your moment. This is me telling you to try it. So, whether that be landscapes or portraits or wheel throwing pottery or some sort of textile, this is me saying do it. Get out there and try the thing. No one's gonna do it for you. No one knows what's in your heart and head. So when we look at our goals and we look at our New Year's resolutions and we look at all the things that we wanted to try and do, I don't think I have that sort of rust color. I just don't think I have it. I'll have to layer some things. I know, I press way too hard. These sticks are so narrow. They're just not very comfy to hold. They're super narrow. Okay. This is me saying it's time. It's time for all of us to branch out and try a thing. To figure out what's the way to do that in a way that we feel comfortable and excited, and because the temptation is, when you're trying a new thing, is to disparage it, is to be like, okay, well, that doesn't look anything like what I wanted, and that doesn't make me happy at all. And that's sort of, this is the problem. This is the trying process. This is what this looks like. It's messy, and it's not going to be a success every time. I just didn't want this red. Again, I don't have every color in the book. I know that the Neo Color 2s come in huge sets. I do not have one. So you have to figure out how that's going to work for you. You have to figure out how to get the courage. And this is like some of the things that aren't talked a lot about, is sort of getting out of your head. How do you get out of your head and try a new thing? It's having the, sorry, I apologize for the loud vehicles. It's Saturday. Hello, neighbor. It's having the confidence to fail, to try a thing and know you're not going to be good at it and keep doing it anyway. Do we have the confidence to fail? And then do so repeatedly, spectacularly. Do we have the confidence to do that? Like, we know it's not going to be amazing sunshine rainbows because we've never done it before. So how do we push past that mental block of, okay, we're good at X, Y, and Z, but we want to try A, B, and C. It's gonna not be good for a while. How do we move past that? How do we try that? How do we get the confidence? And for me specifically, I find if I do something fast, if I do something unexpected, oh, is that a little house there too? I'm not even sure. Okay, maybe I need to continue on with this. This is the only way I know how to get out of my head, is to go quickly. Just go quickly and study other people's studies and try and figure out what works, what doesn't work, what my brain likes, what my brain doesn't like. Because there's so much my brain doesn't like. And my brain thinks, no, you spend hours. I've seen you. You spend hours on your art and your compositions and your things. So for a subject matter you're not familiar with, how are you going to tackle that? Okay. How are you going to have the confidence to do the thing? And then, additional fun challenge, doing it publicly on YouTube. So, have the confidence to do a thing you've never done before in front of folks. And that's its own challenge as well. Like, if you want to start a YouTube channel and you want to make your art public, just know that when people don't like a thing or they're overly critical of something you're doing, it's not really about you or your art. It's more about them and the day they're having. I don't know how to sugarcoat that. It doesn't matter what you do, somebody's not going to like it. They're going to have a visceral reaction to it, and they may have to email you repeatedly about it. So, thick skin. Thick skin is a difficult one. Okay. I'm just gonna, as fast as I can so I don't overthink this. We'll come in with the field stripe in a second. They're fun. They're just quick. And I haven't had a quick drawing challenge in a long time. I spend hours a day. I'm still spending hours a day on my portraits. And then if I go over them with ink, it's like I'm doing that challenge twice. I think I want to add a little white. Is that too light? It's a little too light. Okay, well. Boy, you can really feel the difference in quality. Well, these lines aren't all straight. Okay. All right, and there's my field. It's wild how quick these are. Probably not for me. This is more interesting. I kind of dig the houses.
It gives you your eye like a focal point. So as I'm working through some of these, I'm starting to realize that I like houses more than just plain fields. I don't really care for flowers. It doesn't interest me as much as mountains. So this is where I'm at. It's a wild one. Again, I'll throw up the reference photos I'm using. If you want to do this along with me, if you want to try a thing, let's try a thing together. We can learn together. So this is my April challenge. It's wild, right? It's kind of wild to me. I don't know. I don't know if it's working. I don't know. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it inspired you to figure out fun little ways to get out of your own head, to try some supplies that you've had sitting there that you need to try. Maybe you want to work on original characters. Find a library book, do quick sketches. And then you will build the confidence to keep creating over and over and over. You need the confidence. You need the confidence before you get the skill, and practice helps with both of those. The confidence helps you keep going so you can gain the skill. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.